everyone, I'm the Peculiar Pisces and welcome to my channel. Today is Monday, March 3rd, 2025. Sorry, I still have to think about the date change. This is Flosstube number 30 something. 37, 38, 39, I'm not sure. Let me see really quickly. 39. This is Flosstube number 39. I am back with, well, it's been a few weeks. My last update was the 18th. I just looked at it. What was it? Yeah, my last update was February 18th, and then I had 2 very busy weeks. I did not update last week because I didn't really feel like I had much to show. So I just sort of opted to not do the update. I will show you where I ended for the month of February on my projects and then show you what I'm going to for March now that we have started into. I have officially started on project 1 for March, but I have not done any of the other projects for March yet. So let me start with February's, where I ended up. And I really should have unzipped everything. So February, my project number 1 was Mirabilia's August Peridot Fairy. And I'm pretty positive that since the last time you saw this, I did not touch it. I started doing a bunch of other things in the evening time that just sort of took up my time. So for this piece, it is BestitchMe Wild Bouquet. And okay, so here is where I ended up for the month. And I really do love where the scepter is placed. But here is where I ended. I'm doing the skin 1/1 and everything else is 2/2. And towards the end, that started to get a little bit tedious, and I didn't really want to work on her as much because of the skin. So I will be happy to be putting her away for the month of February since I did not really touch her after my last update. So she will come back out in June. So we will be seeing her again in June. The only bit of beading that I did on that is in her scepter. Right through here. And that was because I could not count to save my life to get up here. Okay, so that was project number 1. Project number 2 was Pentecost by Practical Blackwork. And this is where this way, yeah. This is where I left it off for the month. I still did not finish this quarter. The new schedule that I've been trying to do for myself has left me with not as much time to focus on project number 2 and project number 3. And so I've sort of been trying to flip-flop what I work on so that they are getting almost an equal amount of time, but it's just like Monday I would work on this, Wednesday I would work on this, and Friday I would work on this, and then Tuesday I would work on project 3, and Thursday, and then I got busy. There were several 2-hour delays. We've only had 1 snow day that's been turned into an e-learning day. but it's just, I don't know. I don't know where the time is going, and I'm doing things and I'm getting a lot accomplished, but not as much on project 2 and project 3. So this is where I ended up for the month, and this will come back out in April. And then project 3 was Nene Thomas's Waterfalls of Jade. And this one here's where I ended for the month. But I really like how the picture is coming along. I can see all these cherry blossoms up here. So I started this 1/1, and I just really don't like the coverage. So about here, I started doing it 2/1 just because I like the fuller, more looking coverage. There are a few here that with the 1/1, the X's just didn't look good. And so I'm not going to go back through and redo this area. And I will stitch out these pieces the 1/1, but from here on out, it's going to be 2/2. It looks fuller and thicker, and I like how it looks here versus how it looks here. But of course, it's my personal, how I think it looks. And I don't know, you probably don't even notice it, but like I said, here's some cherry blossoms. Here's the start of some of the waterfall. I really can't wait to find some big color blocks in this piece because it's all confetti. But I don't know if there's actually any big color blocks. I think that the whole thing is just pure confetti. And then project number 4 was Dimensions Indian Peacock. And this is where I got. Looking at the pattern, I'm 50% of that first quarter. So what is that, like 12, 13% complete? So yeah, I will be taking this off this Q-snap, and I will be moving on to something else today. Okay, so that was February's recap and where I ended. So for March, I'm only doing 3 projects this time. And I'll tell you why. I got my chatelaine from 123 Stitch. I am doing Mandala Gardens number 4, Misty Morning Vineyard. Okay. I told you before I was going to do the DMC conversion. The DMC floss came, and I'm not in love with them. I'm really not. I don't know if it absolutely needs to be done in the silks or if this is just a pitiful conversion, but I don't like it. I don't like the colors. So hold on a moment. Sorry about that. Scam phone call anyway. So I don't love this DMC conversion. And my little needle store is not really a needle store. It is 90% a fabric store and then 10% a needle shop. and I've never seen them carry specialty threads. So I don't want to like place the order for these silks. I don't want to order them from 123 Stitch or place the order through my LNS for them to come in and then me not like the colors. So I'm going to save up some money for specialty threads, and the nearest LNS that's an actual needle shop instead of just like mine that's primarily a fabric store. It's in Denver, so it's like an hour and a half drive. So I'm gonna have to plan the trip, and there's just no time, for me there's no time. So I'm skipping project number 3 for the month of March simply because I do not like the DMC colors that the conversion is, and I'm not sure what these silks look like in person. So I did get it. I'm just not starting it. Plus, I still have to get fabric for it, and there's just, there's too much that I have to get. It would end up costing too much money, so I'm not going to worry about this, and I'm not going to start. I thought about doing the project 3 from last year, the Fay Risque, which I was scheduled to start to pick it back up next month. But that would just give me like 1 more month instead of 4 more months for me to figure this out. So I'm just not going to do a project 3 for this month. And I will focus on getting all of that later. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. So, project number 1 that I did start in March is the lavender and lace that I recharted, and it does not appear that I brought the picture down. So I recharted this lavender and lace in Floss Cross, and I am changing the color of her dress. So this is in Pattern Keeper now. I had been watching, when I was recharting this, I had been watching Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, and she had mentioned that Pattern Keeper could do 1/4 and 3/4 stitches now. So as I was charting this up, I already knew that it could do blends because I Googled and it worked, found out that it worked. So I could chart my blends in here as well as doing the 1/4 and 3/4 stitches. So the only thing that's not in here is the back stitching. So the dress, I've changed her color to purples, and in Pattern Keeper, they look like they're going to do well. So I did, the last time you saw this, I worked on it a little bit in December. After I finished working on all my others, and I was just like, I want to work on something until the new year. So I had picked this back up, but here is where I am. I am stitching this in hand. I was originally doing like cross country, but that was because I was on the airplane. I started recharting this last year, and I took this on the airplane in April of last year. We went to visit my family in Pennsylvania. It was, we went it was the last weekend of Maple Festival. It's something that my hometown does. It was also like the weekend near my mom's birthday, and I was getting to see my grandfather, which I got to see my grandfather in April, and then he passed at the end of June. So when we went to visit in April, I took this with me. I started it on the plane. I didn't take, knew I would be stitching it in hand. So there was no hoop. I was not going to be taking scissors because I did not want to lose a good pair of stitching scissors. So like I took my needle, I took my thread, and I took this. And when I came back to try to finish recharting it in Floss Cross at the end of the year, it was disappeared, so I had to rechart it all over again. So I did finish recharting that in January, so now I'm able to like work on it. And here is where I am. Since the last time you saw it, I worked in here, did these bluish flowers, and jumped over here and started these berry looking things. So this is one of those Charles Craft pieces of fabric. Pretty sure that I measured right, that it will fit on this piece of fabric with barely half-inch margins all the way around. So for now, I expect to just finish working in this wreath thing and then start in the middle portion. I don't expect to get to her dress for a while, so I have not purchased the colors that I've recharted her dress in, because I'm not getting to that anytime soon. Anyway, so there we go. So with everything going on, I did not pull out my books, and I haven't calculated all of my stats to give you like times for any of my things, but I can tell you for this lavender and lace, I am now at 1,716 out of 173, no, out of 17,306. I am 9.92%. So that one I can give you stats on. So project 2, hang on. Okay, project 2, I am switching back to the Dutch Beauty sampler. And I am up here in this section. So let's show you where I am on it. So because I'm not doing a project 3, this one should get a lot more attention this time. And this one I manually scanned and put into Pattern Keeper. And so I will be starting out with 2,243 stitches done. I don't know my overall stitches since it's counting every single block, and it's like 245,700. So I know it's not that many stitches. Okay, so I will be picking that one back up. That's 2, no 3, and 4. Oh yes. Project 4 is a Plaid Bucilla kit called 4 Seasons. I did purchase this last year off of Mercari. It was a completely unopened kit. However, I have said many, many times I will not stitch on white, ivory, or cream. And this kit did, in fact, come with 28 count ivory. So I dyed the fabric. I did not do a video. I ran out of time. There was no So here's the fabric. I dyed this. I used 2 different colors of purple. I used 3 colors of dye to make 2 colors of purple. For the one color, it called for hyacinth and fuchsia, and the other one called for hyacinth and violet. I really, really love how this color turned out. Like, to look at it visually, I can't even tell if it's showing up true to color, but I love how this turned out. The colors are just gorgeous. When I do dye the fabric for my chatelaine, I will probably try to recreate this color scheme, and I'll do a dyeing video when I do the one for the chatelaine. But this is the original fabric that was included. I dyed. I love how it turned out. The picture has a lot of pinks in it, so I wanted something that was more, because there's pink in here, and then there's pink along here, and so I wanted something more purple for it to stand out on. And the other thing that I worked on is that the cross stitch that is printed on the fabric. It's so long, so I've turned it to its side, and I'm working across the top. I had started doing it this way and realized that the further I get in, I was going to have trouble doing it straight up and down. So I had done this way, and then it kind of comes in this way, and there's a few stitches out here, but it kind of comes down to here, almost at an angle. And then I had switched it this way and started stitching it going down. And so I am to here, and that's about 500 stitches away from where I left off over here. So I'm almost meeting end to end. Here's on the back, so you can see like where I've done what I've done. It's easier to see on the back. Not that you can see up here because that's such a light color, but that gives you a better idea on how far I've stitched into it, because it's hard to see. There's a lot going on. But this is my weekend no think stitch, where my kids can come and bother me, my husband can come and bother me, and I can just put it down and not have to worry about trying to think, where did I stop? What color was I on? It's easier non-thinking to do this on the weekends. So that is it. That is my update. That is where my 4 projects for February ended, and the 3 projects that I am doing for March. So I will see. Oh, let me talk schedule a little bit. I should be doing a video next week on the 10th. However, the following week, like spring break, technically starts, I think, on the 14th. I think they get out early on the 14th. So spring break is from the 17th till the 28th, I think. So my kids will be home. And then on top of that, my mom is flying out to visit. And so she is actually coming for spring break. And then she's not leaving until April 8th, I think. So I will not be doing any of the any videos. I'll do a video March 10th unless things get like really crazy and bogged down, and then I won't do another video again until April 14th, after my mom has gone and my kids are back in school, and I should get back onto a good schedule again. So when I come back in April, I will have already switched projects. So I will do like a March recap again, and then launch into here's what I started in April and go from there. So yeah, so one more video, and then I'm going to be taking several weeks off because of spring break and visitors. So yeah, so I will see everyone next week, and then after next week it will be not until April, and I'm looking at the calendar, so April 14th. So don't expect any new videos, and I probably won't be posting anything on Instagram. Not that I post on Instagram all that often, but I've been trying to be better about it this year. But yeah, so I will see everyone next week, and then I will be taking a vacation, sort of, not really. And then I will see everyone again in April. So bye for now.